Hey Green Book, welcome back. Good to see you guys. First, I just want to say that I really admire all the work that you guys are doing from home as we release these lessons online. So just keep working hard and we'll help you however we can. So let's begin chapter 8, which is all about a verb tense called past perfect.
Why didn't Mr. and Mrs. Henderson see a movie last weekend?
They didn't want to. They had seen a movie the weekend before.
Number 1. Why didn't your parents eat out yesterday evening?
They didn't want to. They had eaten out the evening before. Past perfect is a verb tense that we use to describe something that happened before a certain event in the past. And let's go through the structure of it first. So we always start with a subject when forming verb tenses in English. So we have to start with our subject. Next we have had, which is our auxiliary verb for this verb tense. And it's important to remember that had, in this case, doesn't come from the verb tener. It comes from the verb haber, right? So we can think of had as había. And we finish the verb tense by adding a past participle. Remember that regular past participles have ed, like walked or talked, and then other past participles might be irregular, like taken or given.
Okay.
Number 2, why didn't Barry go canoeing last Saturday?
He didn't want to. He had gone canoeing the Saturday before.
Perfect. Okay, so now it's your turn to practice past perfect, finish the examples, and feel free to call a friend and complete these pages together. So one more time, we use past perfect to talk about something that happened before a certain event in the past, as you can see with my little visual timeline here. So let's read an example and examine this just a little bit. I didn't eat a donut because I had already eaten breakfast. So notice that the event in the past, in this example, is I didn't eat a donut. Usually when we're describing this certain event in the past or sort of a reference event in the past, we use simple past tense for this, okay? And then later we go on to say, because I had already eaten breakfast, expressing and implying that we ate breakfast before, or I ate breakfast before I had the opportunity to eat a donut. So some of you might be asking, well, why don't you just say I had breakfast or I ate breakfast and then I didn't eat a donut? And you can say it that way. You can express that in English perfectly correctly. But notice that with past perfect, we actually explain why, because I explain how the first part is related to the second part, and it also explains why I didn't eat a donut. You may remember talking about present perfect a few chapters ago, and how present perfect always connects the past and the present. We can think of it like a bridge between the past and the present. But past perfect is obviously different. And we can think of past perfect like a photo album. So in a photo album, you have lots of pictures, and each of them captures a moment in the past, right? So when you look through a photo album, you compare or reflect on or start to analyze events in the past. And we do the same thing with past perfect. We look back at least two, maybe more events in the past, and we look at how they are related to one another. So as you look through a photo album, you might say, oh yeah, I remember why this thing happened now, because whatever, you see the reason why. Or you might, as you look through a photo album, you also might start to create a sequence of past events, right? Like this happened, oh yeah, and then this happened, and then next this happened. Okie dokie, that is actually it for our textbook practice today. But please do pages 88 and 90 in your workbook, so it'll be some good extra practice for you. If you have any questions about today's lesson, please leave them here in the comments on this video, or you can ask your teachers, either way, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.